We're going to bring in Charles Bird. He's a Liberal strategist with years of experience advising senior ministers at Queen's Park and in Ottawa. Charles, what do you think this result means for the Ontario Liberals? They've got official party status back, it looks like, but their leader doesn't seem to have a seat in the House.
Well, I think the party will take some positives from tonight's results. For starters, they've increased their seat count to official party status, which is highly encouraging. They've also secured well over 500,000 votes more than the New Democrats, although obviously the New Democratic vote is more concentrated in key areas and was able to translate into key votes. As well, the Liberals finished a strong second to largely Conservatives throughout huge swaths of the 905 and in other parts of the province. And so I think that they will take great encouragement from that. The $64,000 question is, what is it going to be like for Bonnie Crombie not having a seat in the legislature? You know, that's been the case since she became Liberal leader in December of 2023. There are some advantages to not having to be in the legislature all the time in terms of getting around the province, in terms of building up the party, recruiting candidates, that sort of things. She now has a 4-year runway to work with. And so the party will face a question, though, which is of the 13 or 14 or 15 seats they're able to win tonight, will one of those MPPs resign for the sake of allowing Ms. Crombie to enter the legislature?
She's committed to stay on as leader, but will there be a leadership review? Will there be a chance for other Liberals perhaps to say, wait a minute, we want someone else?
Oh, yeah. And that's pretty typical for political parties. But at the moment, I think Liberals will recognize that she has increased our popular vote from roughly 24% in 2022 to just shy of 30% in 2025, has obviously returned us to official party status. And, you know, she's done that with the equivalent of rusty string and tin cans in terms of the kinds of infrastructure that the party had when she became leader. So there are big strides in terms of fundraising, in terms of recruitment, in terms of on-the-ground presence. And again, very encouraging to see the Liberals perform so well in so many critical ridings. You know, they obviously came up short, but I think when we review the number of ridings in which they've come a strong second, I think they may actually be very well poised for next time, although next time is obviously going to be 4 years from now.
Now, you mentioned, of course, that the Liberals secured the second largest share of the popular vote, but that didn't translate into seats. From a strategy point of view, can the party come back and look at ways to try and have their support better spread out? What are they going to do to try to ensure that getting this number of votes next time translates into more seats in the House?
Well, I think it really comes down to beating Conservatives, and that can really start to happen in a really meaningful way with a shift in a relatively small number of votes percentage-wise. Full credit to Premier Ford for winning his third straight majority. I mean, that is an accomplishment that very few Ontario premiers have equaled. But his seat count appears to be down from where it was in 2022, even though his share of the popular vote is up by a point or two at this point over where he was at in 2022. I think there'll probably be a bit of disappointment in the Conservative war room, and full credit to an excellent campaign run by those folks, because they were internally expecting to win somewhere between 90 and 100 seats, but obviously things didn't break entirely their way. And frankly, some strong NDP incumbents in the Hamilton-Niagara region made a big difference in that regard.
Yeah, we absolutely saw some of that in our own backyard with some key races that everyone was talking about potentially going PC. They held on, and they held on to NDP. All right, that's Liberal strategist Charles Bird. Charles, thank you so much for your patience this evening. It's been great having you.
Thanks, Matt.